Good morning. My interaction with my international student Yao took place in the Breslin Center. He went to men's Michigan State basketball practice, and after the practice, me and him sat down on the bleachers and talked about our educational experiences. Me and Yao talked about our school structure. We both had three sectors, meaning he also had an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school. For him, elementary went from first grade to sixth grade, middle school went from seventh to ninth, and high school went from 10th to 12th. Compared to my structured school, elementary school went from 1 to 5th, middle school went from 6th to 8th, and high school went from ninth to 12th. Why? He couldn't really tell me, but it just showed me that there's no specific age group for a specific grade. It reminded me of that video we watched about the guy questioning everything about the school system, why we have specific age groups for specific grades, and in China it was different. Just curious to see if that makes a difference, if their students, excel better in their grades because it's broken up in a different way other than my society. When I was in elementary school, 9/11 happened. When that happened, my school shut down for a few days. When we returned to school, we actually had little projects dedicated to the victims of 9/11. And so I asked Yao if he had a similar experience, not necessarily 9/11, but if something tragic happened when he was younger. And he actually mentioned that there was a huge earthquake in China. They wrote letters and drawings for the victims that lost their families. It was interesting to see that both education systems, when something tragic happens, that it is a norm to recognize those victims. And I thought that was really interesting that both societies took care or showed that they cared about those victims that died. Touched upon a very important topic to me, which is food. I asked him how he received his food, if he had to get lunch tickets for lunch and stuff like that. And so what he told me was, in China, they value food a lot. And I feel like in our society, we don't value food that much. We just give students what they want and they eat it. Yo told me that food was very, very important. They got unlimited food for lunch. And that blew my mind because when I was growing up in elementary and middle school, we had lunch tickets. We only got a portion of food, maybe two sides, and that was it. That bothered me because I was always hungry after. So I started to use two lunch tickets. That wasn't even enough. To hear that Yao had unlimited food, healthy food, was like, hey, the Chinese culture, they care about what their students eat. They had vegetables, they had rice, they had soups. On the other hand, we had chicken tenders with mashed potatoes, turkey and gravy, spaghetti, baked pizza that was frozen. Realized that the Chinese society really cared about what their students ate. We should be eating more vegetables, rice, more of a plant-based diet instead of eating cold pizza, chicken tenders, spaghetti, all kinds of fattening foods. On top of that, we don't even have enough of it. Well, I didn't. I thought that was really interesting and just showed the difference between those cultures and that, the Chinese really appreciate and really take value in what people eat. Instead, United States, here's some food, go ahead and eat it. It's good, but not necessarily healthy for you. What I learned from this interaction was that I am very grateful of how I grew up. Yao mentioned that he did not like his school at all. He didn't like how the Chinese society handled the school system, and that's why he came to America, because he was tired of it. I loved elementary school, I loved middle school, and I loved high school. One aspect that I didn't like about our school system is the food. Chinese society really took care of their students, while the American society gave us food, but didn't necessarily look out for our health.